There's more to imagine when you listen. So let your imagination soar with Audible. Audible has audio titles from every genre that will inspire you to imagine new worlds, possibilities, and ways of thinking. As an Audible member, you get to choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog. Enjoy an exciting reawakening of a beloved classic with the Audible original David Copperfield by Charles Dickens, produced by Academy Award-winning director Sam Mendes, starring Ncuti Gatwa, Helena Bonham Carter, and Theo James. This adaptation breathes new life into a familiar tale. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/imagine or text IMAGINE to 500-500. That's audible.com/imagine or text IMAGINE to 500-500.
Worried about letting someone else pick out the perfect avocado for your perfect impress them on the third date guacamole? Well, good thing Instacart shoppers are as picky as you are. They find ripe avocados like it's their guac on the line. They are milk expiration date detectives. They bag eggs like the 12 precious pieces of cargo they are. So let Instacart shoppers overthink your groceries so that you can overthink what you'll wear on that third date. Download the Instacart app today to get free delivery on your first 3 orders, while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Canva presents your work horoscope for this week. Deadlines are in retrograde, which we all know can bring some intense energy. Our advice: fend off this forecast with Canva. Like Canva whiteboards to counter creative blocks, and Canva docs for clarity in communications. If you have any sales deals coming through, results will be in your favor with Canva presentations, manifesting many wins for you. It's a great week to love your work at canva.com.
Welcome to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine, the show that helps you survive the stuff that can kill you.
Yeah, like avalanches or a hawk attack or being falsely accused of a crime.
And the stuff that just makes you wish you were dead.
Oh, yeah, like calling someone the wrong name or asking someone if they're pregnant or having your parents not believe you.
All that sounds so hard. We should just play the song.
Agreed.
Ground is shaking under our feet. Mountains on fire, flooding in the street. Can't breathe the air, can't fight the feeling. Gobbling down Xanax ain't the way to be dealing. Gotta do better than just getting high. We gotta stick together if we're gonna survive. How to survive. How to survive.
Welcome to Survive with... It's been a week. Okay. Welcome to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine. I'm Danielle Koenig.
I'm Kristine Kimmel.
And we're very excited to be here because we weren't here last week because someone had to get surgery on their ACL.
I love getting surgery.
Don't you love it?
I love it.
You threw up from the meds.
It was a rough first night home.
You were in massive pain.
I was crying.
You were crying. And how do you feel now?
I feel... I'm here.
You're on crutches.
I'm crutches.
Your husband drove you.
Yeah, I can't drive. I'm on have a brace and crutches.
Right. And how long do you have the brace and crutches for?
I mean, the crutches maybe another week. They said like up to a month, but I think after a week.
Yeah.
The brace, I think maybe another month.
And then can you drive with the brace on or no?
No.
Oh, so you can't drive for a month?
I don't think so.
Ugh.
I don't know. You know what? Here's what I'll know.
Yeah.
I have my follow-up appointment next week, and then I'll get some more information. They're going to take a look at this huge...
I should just come with you to the appointment so I can get all the answers.
Why don't you... you know what? I would like that.
They won't let anybody come with anyone else to appointments.
You can meet my surgeon.
Okay.
You know, that way you'll know him in case you need any surgery.
Oh, I'm not going skiing.
But hey, doesn't mean you won't tear your ACL. There's lots of ways to tear your ACL.
In Pilates? How am I going to tear my ACL? No. You tears the ACL.
You can, you know what? You can just be walking... Step into a hole.
Well, that's more likely to happen to me. Yes, that could happen.
Lots of ways to Lots of ways for a body to fall apart, and I'm learning them.
And I forget. Did you have to spend the night in the hospital or no?
No. Okay. You know what they do? They barely let you wake up from anesthesia, and they're like, "You gotta go. Come on."
They just do the surgery on a wheelchair so that they can just roll you out as soon as you're done.
Basically.
They just shove you down. They just go, hold the elevator, and they push you toward the elevator, hope you catch it in time.
Yes,
and then down you go.
That's how things go. I mean, you've been in the hospital recently. You know how it is. It's like having a baby, where basically the moment the baby comes out, they're like, "Do you feel okay? Because we need this room."
Yeah,
and you're like, "But I can't. My insides feel like they're on my outsides." They're like, "That's normal. Just go home."
I guess it saves money, but yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy now. Okay, guess what we're learning about today?
Tell me.
How to survive being falsely accused of a crime.
Oh,
bum, bum, bum.
You know, this is a fear of mine.
Well, it is.
And it's one of Jimmy's, right?
It's Jimmy's biggest fear.
Yes.
So this is dedicated to my husband.
This is
because I don't know why he thinks he doesn't go anywhere. I don't know why he thinks he's going to, I mean, I guess if he goes to, the record store.
You know what could happen, though?
He could be accused
He doesn't
of
have to go anywhere,
shoplifting.
because you know what could happen?
Yeah.
You could... This is grim.
Frame him.
You could die in your house.
Sure.
And they say it's always the husband.
Right.
So he could be
falsely accused of murdering me.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could, if you got really mad at him, listen to this. You could frame him for your murder.
Of course I could. You think I haven't thought of this?
Oh my God, that's such a great idea. Don't do it.
Well, I mean, look, we've been in lockdown for a long time, and I'm getting...
Oh yeah, it's hard.
I'm not really in lockdown anymore, but I am.
Marriage is locked down.
Marriage is locked down.
Lifetime of lockdown.
Just you and your spouse and a bunch of alcohol wipes you'll never use. We ordered so many wipes at the beginning of the lockdown, we never used them.
Just a whole drawer, we have a whole cupboard of hand sanitizer, and it's like, what the...
Why?
What are we going to do with this now?
No.
Oh, you know what? We're going to have another pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll get use out of it.
Okay, are you ready to learn how and what to do if you're falsely accused of a crime?
I've never been more ready, Danielle.
Okay. Ask for an attorney as soon as possible. The top mistake that many people make when they are arrested, investigated, or asked to just answer a few questions, and we've seen that tactic, is say anything other than, "I want an attorney."
Okay.
Even if you know you are wrongfully accused, police and prosecutors can use anything you say against you. An experienced criminal defense attorney knows how to handle these situations and can give you advice about which questions you should and shouldn't answer.
Right.
Because I know, right? Because your whole instinct
is to just talk.
It's just to go,
I didn't do anything.
Oh, no, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. And in my head, I'd be like, I don't want to pay for an attorney. I didn't do jack shit.
This blood is, I was just slaughtering a pig.
Right.
I don't know who this dead person is.
Yeah. Right.
That's a coincidence.
I can't help it if they have the same DNA as the pig I slaughtered.
Pigs and humans have very similar DNA. Everyone knows that.
Very. You can either find your own attorney, or if you find that you can't afford an attorney, you will receive the services of a public defender who will protect your rights. Remain silent.
Not calm.
Not calm.
Maybe both.
I think that comes up. Besides giving your name and asking for an attorney, you do not have to answer any questions. Do not assume that you can talk your way out of anything.
But Danielle, what if they ask me, would you like a Coke?
Oh, yeah. Take all the free drinks. I learned that in a writing class.
Oh.
Like when you have a meeting, take the drink.
Because that's what you're going to get. I mean, that's all you're going to get.
Yeah. So when you go to right, exactly. Like when you go to a meeting and you're pitching something, they're not going to buy it, but at least take the free drink. And when you go...
That doesn't make it more likely to sell.
No, it doesn't make it more or less likely, but at least you get something out of the situation.
But unless it's bottled water, because we don't need more of that.
No, we don't want bottled water. Oh, she has bottled water today.
It's, you know why?
Because
my kids keep losing the metal bottles.
Well, then you got to buy a How to Survive bottle on our merch.
I'm gonna buy 5 of them.
Yeah, you should.
Good merch plug.
Thank you.
You
see how I slid that in?
Seamlessly slid
I know.
It in. You know what?
Pod How to Survive.
You have real business acumen.
I do. I really, really do. But also, when you go to get interrogated, you might be there for hours. If all the TV shows I've seen are any indication, and you might as well get a free soda as well.
Yeah, you might have to take a bottle of water because that's all they're going to offer.
Yeah. Anything to distract from the fact that your life's about to end. Okay. Besides giving your name, law enforcement is skilled at asking questions to get the answers they want to trap you in a pattern of telling half-truths. The Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution protects you against self-incrimination, but even if you are being accused of a crime you didn't commit, you do not have to answer questions, right? Because it seems like, well, you want to prove you're innocent, and only guilty people refuse to answer questions. But they're saying, don't do jack crap without an attorney.
I'm not doing jack crap.
Don't do jack crap.
Jack crap.
Do not consent to search without a warrant. The Fourth Amendment protects you against unreasonable searches and seizures.
Oh, so like if they come to my house and they say, hey, we heard some screaming.
Right.
And there's blood.
And it sounds like a pig and or your next door neighbor.
Yes.
Dying at your hands.
And they say, we want to come in and take a look around. And, I say, I know there's blood on my hands.
Right.
And coming through the door.
Right.
But do you have a warrant?
Do you have a warrant? Exactly.
And if they say no, I don't have to let them in.
Of course not.
I'll say, go get a warrant, and then you can come in and look at my slaughterhouse.
So that means, with few exceptions, police cannot just search you or your property anytime they feel like it. I think if there's like imminent danger, they can.
Maybe if there's danger to a child.
Yeah. If police ask to search your home or your car, you should insist on asking to see a search warrant first. Ask to actually see the document and that it's been signed by a judge.
Oh, I wouldn't know the difference between a real one and a fake one.
Yeah, but the chances of them having...
The police having a fake one?
Fake one. I mean, if they show you like a Burger King receipt, then you know it's fake, right? So that's just what they... I mean, sure, our judge signed it, but... Even if you know that you are falsely accused of a crime, police may find something that could be used against you.
Okay.
So they're just saying, protect yourself at all costs.
Because they're going to dig up everything.
Everything.
They're going to be like, we know how many boys you went behind the bleachers with in ninth grade.
Yeah, in my case, 0.
Same.
It didn't even matter what grade you said, it would have been 0.
Same.
Same. I don't believe you at all.
I had one boyfriend in high school.
Oh, okay.
And there were no bleachers in this story. Just a 69 Camaro in the drive-in.
Don't resist arrest. Even if you're being arrested for a crime you didn't commit, it is important to remain calm.
Oh, yeah.
If police arrest you. Now, this is really important because my instinct, and I think a lot of people's instincts out there, would be to go Karen batshit crazy, right? I didn't do this, you motherfucking assholes. Whatever, but don't do that.
Like if they want to put cuffs on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any sort of physical resistance like kicking or shoving or attempting to flee, running or driving away from the scene or attempting to fly out of the country will only hurt your case. That's pretty practical.
Yeah, I don't think I would go crazy and yell and scream. I think I'm too respectful of authority in that way.
Yeah.
Like if they came and they were like, listen, we know you killed somebody and we have the evidence. I think I'd still be like, go ahead and cuff me. I didn't do it, but
I think I would be in disbelief. Like this will all just get settled because I didn't do this. So
this
maybe
is going to
you're
get fixed.
extra calm. Yeah.
Like I think I also would have that. I mean, this is awful, but like that white privilege thing of like, yes, of course this is going to get worked out. I don't have to worry about this.
Yeah.
Like this is going to get fixed. Like,
well, that's definitely right. That definitely plays into it. Like whether or not you have money for a proper attorney, whether you are fit the profile, quote unquote.
Well, and I think, you know what? I'm a white lady. They're probably going to be pretty nice to me. I'm not going to get thrown on the ground.
Well, you don't know, though. I mean, you're right. You probably are less likely to than someone of color, for sure.
I guess it also depends on if I've been accused of just murdering 75 babies.
Yeah. No, they'll still probably treat you with kid gloves.
I hope I don't do that.
You hope you're not accused or you hope you don't do it?
Both.
Okay. But if you do it, you want to get away with it, right?
Absolutely.
See, I just never understand how people live with guilt. Like, I have guilt for the most minor things, so I just don't understand. I just realized I don't have my headphones on. Is that a problem?
Oh, Danielle.
No? Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely. Right. I still have guilt about one time when my babies were about 4 months old.
Yeah.
We had a double stroller, but it was the car seats went into the stroller.
Yes.
And it was like a long ways stroller.
Yes.
And we lived in an apartment, and I was gently going down the stairs, like 4 steps out of our apartment. And I accidentally went down one of the stairs like too rough.
Yeah.
And it startled Alex, and she burst into tears.
Oh, sweetie pie.
And I thought maybe it hurt a little bit. Probably just woke her up.
Yeah.
And it still comes into my mind like every few months, and I feel bad about it.
Right. So you're not going to kill 20 babies then?
Definitely not. Probably not 75.
Oh, 75 it was. Wow.
Yeah.
You picked a big number.
I know.
How would you even find 75 babies? Maternity ward?
Yeah, I think so. Cedars,
yeah. Okay. Now let's see. Where was I? Okay. But remember, once you are arrested, you do not have to answer any questions. Even if your attorneys think you should, you still don't have to. Although it is a good idea to listen to your attorney's advice.
Yeah.
Realize the seriousness of the accusations. You need to understand the seriousness of the offenses and the potential penalties that you could face. Even though you are innocent, you cannot assume that the police, prosecutor, judge, or jury will see the case your way. By taking the charges seriously from the start, you can make decisions to take actions that will increase the likelihood of a favorable outcome. Intervene before charges. One of the benefits of retaining an attorney while you are a suspect is that he or she may be able to take proactive measures that could result in never being charged with a crime. In some cases, he may be able to discuss your case with the police or prosecutor and provide information that convinces them that they have the wrong person. Basically, just leave it to the professionals.
Okay.
I just know that I'd be like, ugh, no one's going to understand this better than I can communicate it, so I'm going to explain it. And then I'd have to
I'm going to represent myself.
I mean, yeah. Take no action. In other situations, your attorney may decide that the better strategy is to do nothing. That would drive me insane.
Yes, me too.
And see if the prosecutor even develops the necessary evidence to charge you with the crime. A witness could recant his testimony or test results could support your innocence, with the result being that no charges are filed against you. This is a good one. Gather any physical evidence and documents. If there is any physical evidence, such as clothing, photographs, or other objects that could help in your defense, you want to collect them as soon as possible and give them to your attorney. Collect any documentation that may help you, such as correspondence, emails, receipts, GPS data, or other information to prove where you were when the crime was committed. So you're establishing an alibi.
Yeah.
Obtain witness contact information. You should make a list of potential witnesses who can provide helpful information about the incident, accusations, and the victim to provide your attorney. I guess you could also establish, like, well, she was with me there at that time and that thing happened. Do not, numbnuts, post about your case on social media. I'm looking at you, Garen and Chris.
I mean, it's, I live my entire life.
But so many people do, I literally see people going like, my kid's in surgery and they post it on, for whatever reason online. So I could see someone for sure going, well, I've been falsely accused of a crime.
Yes.
Don't
absolutely.
at me. This is the case for every legal matter you may ever encounter. Do not talk about your case on social media and do not discuss your case with outsiders. Just as saying anything to police may be used against you, this also applies to what you post on social media or tell a friend. You have no guarantee that law enforcement will not see your post or will not ask the person you talk to tell them what you said. I mean, just imagine like you post on social media, I've been falsely accused of a crime, and then someone like jokingly replies and the response is like,
yeah, you totally
this is so
did it.
Right. And then, yeah. In fact, it is best to remain off of social media entirely while your case unfolds. Even sharing a picture of you enjoying a nice day, even if you think it's unrelated to your case, can be used to portray you in a certain way. Like, look at this jackass. She's being,
imagine just like having your phone sequestered or whatever it's called. That's not the right word.
Commandeered.
Yeah. And like all your texts being combed through.
Right.
That would be terrible.
Yeah. Investigation. If you are formally charged with a crime, your attorney will need to conduct a thorough investigation of the crime and the prosecutor's evidence, interview witnesses, and retain expert witnesses if necessary. You know what I hear when I hear expert witnesses? Cha-ching.
Yeah.
That costs money. An investigation can help evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of the prosecutor's case and your defense. It's weird because the cha-ching thing is for making the money, but also if you have to spend the money, I guess you do the same sound effect, right? Cha-ching. Yeah. I don't know I don't know what the sound of money coming out of my wallet
that's good.
is.
Good question.
So do you just say ching-cha?
Ching-cha. Like a sad sound. Ching.
Ching-ching.
Because you're losing the money.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I mean, you have to pay for all of that. Somebody does.
I know.
You have to get a benefactor.
This is the part where your brain's going to explode.
Great.
Plea bargain.
Okay.
As unjust as it may seem, sometimes innocent people decide to enter into a plea agreement with the prosecutor where they plead guilty to a lesser charge rather than risk conviction, harsher sentence, and permanent criminal record. Once your attorney has conducted his investigation and reviewed the evidence against you, he can advise you whether this is in your best interests. See, this always drives me insane when I watch a movie or a TV show and or a real life thing and someone has to plead to a lesser crime so that they don't face a jury trial. It's just, it's terrifying. It's like, it's so unfair.
Yes.
It's just madness. When facing false accusations, certain actions may make your situation worse. Do not do any of the following. Destroy evidence that you think can hurt you. So if something makes you look bad, don't destroy it because then you're going to look more guilty.
That's going to be really hard to do.
It's going to be hard not to destroy evidence?
Yeah, like all of the letters back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to want to rip those up.
Oh, right. Because, if you have texts that show you we're going to beef with somebody.
Yeah.
And then you delete them, but I guess they can find out if you delete them.
Because those are going to exist in the cloud.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to make it look worse that I deleted them. Because they're going to say,
exactly.
Why did you delete them?
Because I've been falsely accused of a crime.
Duh. My defense is duh.
Good. That's the duh defense. These are things not to do. Talk to or have any contact with the victim or witnesses. Like, don't try to think you can just talk to the person accusing you and hash it out.
Don't send them scones.
Right.
Like I'm sorry this happened to you, but it wasn't me scone.
Right.
Basket.
That's like a sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
Of confessions. Talk to the police, prosecutor, or criminal investigator without your attorney. Consent to a DNA test or other test requested by the police without your attorney present. Okay. I'm now going to tell you a crazy story.
I love crazy stories.
The reason I was first introduced to the story was because this person, this man, was a contestant on the most recent season of The Amazing Race.
What?
And they kept referring to him as he was wrongfully not just accused, convicted.
Oh.
This guy was wrongfully convicted and spent almost 10 years in jail.
What?
And then he went on to go on The Amazing Race, and they just kind of kept referencing it, but I didn't know the story. And so I was like, you know what, this might be an interesting story, and it's actually more interesting than I could have thought. So I'm going to take you, the guy's name is Ryan Ferguson.
Yeah.
He was on season 33 of The Amazing Race, which was the most, his partner, I got to say, was kind of a douchebag, but he seemed like a great guy.
Okay. Well, if you spend 10 years in prison.
I mean, the guy has perspective. Okay, so strap in. The murder of Kent Heitholt. On November 1st, 2001, Columbia Daily Tribune sports editor Kent Heitholt stood in the parking lot of the newspaper's offices at 2 a.m. chatting with co-worker Michael Boyd. A few minutes later, facilities staff member Shauna Ornt exited the building for a break and spotted two people around Heitholt's car. One of the people yelled for her to get help. So Ornt ran to get her supervisor, Jerry Trump. Don't let his name stand in.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with.
Okay. I hope he's not related.
Can you imagine if you had the last name Trump?
I'd change it.
Yeah, right? I think you would.
I would just go by my middle name.
Or just say, oh, no, it's pronounced Tramp. I'd rather be Tramp than Trump.
For
right?
sure. Rather my last name be Tramp.
So Ornt ran to get her supervisor, Jerry Trump, while other employees called 911. Heitholt had been beaten and strangled to death just minutes after meeting with Boyd. Boyd was his coworker. When the police arrived, Ornt said she got a good look at the two men and gave the description that became the composite sketch. But Trump said he could not see the men clearly enough to identify them. At the scene, police found several fingerprints, footprints, and a strand of hair. Despite the evidence, the case went cold. 2 years later, Charles Erickson saw new coverage of the case in the local news and claims he began having dreams about the murder.
Okay.
The article included the composite sketch drawn from Ornt's description, and he believed it looked like him. This guy Erickson goes to sleep, starts having dreams about the murder, thinks, I know it sounds weird, thinks that the suspect looks like him. Erickson and Ryan Ferguson, that's the guy we're talking about, had been partying for Halloween near the crime scene. But because Erickson was under the influence of drugs and alcohol, he couldn't recall the events of that night. Erickson began to ponder if they had been involved.
Okay.
But Ferguson, the Amazing Race guy, assured him that it was not possible.
Yeah.
Erickson told other friends about his worries. So the guy's starting to freak out that he had something to do with this crime.
Because of his dreams.
Because of these dreams. And because he knew that night he was drunk and in the area, high. Yeah. And the composite sketch. And those friends went to the police.
Okay.
Once Erickson was at the police station, he could not recall any details about the crime and admitted he could be making up the story he was telling. Despite this, Erickson and Ferguson were arrested in March 2004, and Erickson was given a plea deal to testify against Ferguson at the trial. On the stand, he recounted the crime, but the defense was able to argue against all claims. Jerry Trump, who went to prison in 2003 for an unrelated crime, so the guy who was the witness who had nothing to do with this, took the stand and testified that his wife had sent him a news article while in prison, and at that moment, he did recognize the two men that night. So while he's in jail, his wife sends him an article with Erickson and Ferguson's pictures, and he's suddenly like, oh yeah, I remember them. This contradicted his original statement from the night of the crime when he said he didn't get a good look at the perpetrators.
Oh boy.
I know, this is just like one baffling thing after another. Additionally, none of the physical evidence collected at the scene was able to be matched to either of the two men.
I mean, this is just like...
Yep. Despite the lack of evidence and unreliable testimony, Ferguson was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 40 years in prison.
How? There's nothing linking him except somebody had a dream.
Yep. In 2009, Ryan Ferguson's wrongful conviction case caught the attention of a high-profile attorney, Kathleen Zellner.
Oh, she's from Making a Murderer.
That's exactly right.
That guy's guilty, though.
Right. Who took on the case and successfully won a retrial in 2012. Zellner questioned Trump, Ornt, and Erickson, who all admitted they lied, and that they were coerced into it by the prosecutor, Kevin Crane.
Kevin.
So you get some overzealous prosecutor. Trump stated that he was given the article and photo of Ferguson by Crane, so not by his wife, while Ornt and Erickson said they were threatened. Zellner decided to put Michael Boyd, the last person to see Heitholt alive, on the stand at Ferguson's retrial. Boyd, who wasn't called as a witness in the original trial, was able to give a complete timeline of the night that Heitholt was killed. Zellner also discovered that evidence had been withheld from the defense team. As a result, Ferguson's conviction was overturned after serving a quarter of his sentence, so almost 10 years.
That's so long.
10 years.
Oh my God.
For a 20-something-year-old. In 2020, Ferguson was awarded $11 million.
Yes.
$1 million for every year he was incarcerated, and $1 million for legal costs. So like one to grow on. His charges were cleared. I know, so why did he have to go on The Amazing Race? Am I right? His charges were cleared because the court ruled that there was not enough evidence to support a conviction. Despite Erickson having testified against him, the dream guy, Ferguson says he wants to help Erickson, currently serving 25 years for the crime.
So he's still in.
He's still in. I know it doesn't quite make sense, right? Because
it's like if he didn't do it,
had a retrial, right? There are more innocent people in prison, including Erickson. I know that he was used and manipulated, and I kind of feel sorry for the guy, Ferguson said. He needs help. He needs support. He doesn't belong in prison. Ryan Ferguson's family has offered $10,000 reward for any information to solve the case. Because, of course, the guy, whoever did it, is still out there.
Yeah, and it's got to be somebody, to me, it's got to be somebody that knows him. Like, that's a rage killing.
That's what they say, right? If you're strangling someone, that's
rage.
Not, that's
personal.
Not a hold up.
Because it takes so long. It's like it takes a really long time to strangle someone. Like, you have to really hate them.
No, you sound like you know what you're talking about.
I'm just really fascinated with this.
Meanwhile, Erickson has filed 2 petitions for a writ of habeas corpus, both of which were denied. His most current appeal is still pending. When he was in prison, Ferguson's dad told him to do whatever he needed to protect himself, and as a result, Ferguson focused on exercise, eventually becoming a personal trainer. After his release, he starred on the MTV series Unlocking the Truth, but said he struggled to find regular work because of his public reputation. Ferguson can be seen on the current season of The Amazing Race, where he is open about his experience of incarceration and hopes for the future. So he's trying to get people out of jail now, including the guy who landed him in jail.
That's very open-hearted.
I mean, I have guilt, but to have guilt about something you didn't do because you think you... I mean, imagine what kind of drugs are you on that you have no that you could have possibly killed somebody and aren't sure about it.
There might be some mental instability there.
There might be. He was also, I mean, they were really young. They were like 19 or something when this happened.
I mean, it's hard to know all the ins and outs of what compelled him to. I'm fascinated with people who confess to crimes they didn't commit. It's really hard to understand, isn't it? Yeah, it really is. But it's like we don't know kind of what motivates that type of behavior and how much of it has to do with mental instability and what people are struggling with and,
well, it's also
their reality even.
Well, yes, but I think it's also that sometimes you get these cops who are, I'm thinking of specific cases I've read about, but I don't want to quote anything because I don't remember specifically, but just like they think they have a timeline. They think they have, they're trying to make it work.
They're trying to make their quota, and they're trying to get their conviction. I mean, there's a lot of coercive tactics that have been proven out. Like like the Central Park 5.
Yes, that's one of them I'm thinking about.
It's such an intense,
and it's very young guys.
Yes,
and
these are adults.
Yeah, telling them you have to say this, and then everything will be okay. Or whatever. So it's maddening. It's just maddening. I know you think like there's no way I would confess to something I didn't do. But
you don't know what it's like in that room.
You're in there for 20 hours. You got Coke when you specifically asked for Diet Coke.
Yes.
Your blood sugars.
You're very hungry and maybe cold.
So
if I was hungry.
Oh my God. If we were hungry and cold. Oh my God. We would. You're right. We would confess to anything.
Quickly.
Oh my. Give me a blanket.
Yes.
Yes, and a power bar. Yeah, and I'll tell you whatever you need to know.
If I'm in a hard chair.
Yeah. Yes. If you're in a hard chair.
And they're like, listen, we can get you a softer chair. All you have to say is that you killed the 75 babies. I would be like, you're going to get me a softer chair?
Yeah, we'll give you a pad for your chair.
Oh, I did it.
Okay.
Where do I sign?
I'd be like, I'm a little nauseated. If you could just give me a 7-Up, I'll sign this thing right now.
So I think...
Yeah, maybe I was judging those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, harshly. Yeah, I'll do anything if I'm hungry or
And there's 3 to 5 like
scary
big
people.
Scary men with guns. I'm really afraid of guns.
Yeah, you should be.
Standing. Mm-hmm. And they're yelling at you.
They're yelling at you.
You did this.
Yeah.
We know you did it. We have proof.
Right.
And you're like, they have proof?
Well, your partner in the other room says a different story. They always separate the two people and then they play the old, your friend over there said it was you. And then your friend said it was you. And then neither of them had said that. But then, then they turn on each other.
And you're like, but I know I didn't do this.
But I was drunk and on drugs, so maybe I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yep.
I think we're going to really fall apart under questioning.
Yeah, I don't know why I had so much bravado about this a second ago. Now I'm like, no, you're right. I'm absolutely going to jail.
Yeah, we better never get accused.
No, we have no leg to stand on.
I thought
you barely have a leg to stand on.
I literally have only one leg to stand on right now. I thought for a minute as adult, I was like, well, we're adults, so like we can see through all of their tactics. But then I realized we are basically made out of paper.
Yeah, right.
So we're in
crinkly
trouble.
Paper that you fold in 16 squares to do math problems.
Yes.
Remember that?
No.
You don't remember? In grade school, you didn't have to fold the paper into 16s, into squares, and then you didn't do that?
I mean, I remember doing that for note passing. Like all the different ways you would fold paper to pass a note. Like you do the football shape.
Oh. No, this is just, you would fold it and then open it up so that it's, no, not the cookie catcher.
Not the, give me a number.
No, I'm saying the teacher would say, fold your paper in half and then in half and then in half again. And you open it up and there's 16 squares and then you do the problems in the math squares.
Oh, I don't remember
I don't know.
this.
That's just a thing we did. Maybe it was a California thing.
You Californians.
You Californians with your squares.
You hippies doing your math in squares.
I don't know why that was the thing. And it was like brown paper. It wasn't quite white.
Oh, I remember that brown paper.
Yeah,
it's really thin.
Yeah, it was smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth.
And you use your eraser on it once and it's like
tears. Yeah.
We definitely use that paper.
Yeah.
Oh, paper. Oh my God. That was great, Danielle.
Thanks. I thought it was pretty interesting. And then
so interesting.
And also there are thousands of stories of people being wrongly convicted, and there's the
There's shows
Innocence
too,
Project.
Right? Oh, the Innocence Project
which
is fascinating.
works to get people out based on DNA evidence, right? Or maybe it's more than DNA evidence, but I think that was how it started, maybe?
I know I've heard of it from one of those crime documentaries I've watched.
I should have looked up the statistics about people being wrongfully convicted. I'm assuming people of color are probably more wrongly convicted than people of not.
I think we can just come out and say that.
Yeah, I
for
picked
sure
this
true.
guy because I was just curious, and then when I looked into the story, it was so weird that I was like, oh, that's the story you got to tell.
No, that's a good one.
But we will be back after this. We're going to take a little breaky poo.
I love breaky poos.
And then we'll be back with our special guest, Todd Glass. I know, it's so exciting.
Are you struggling to close deals? Cold outreach is wasting the time of both the buyer and seller at every stage, especially when sellers are using shallow and outdated data. Your organization can overcome these challenges with technology that translates comprehensive, high-quality buyer data into real-time insights. These deeper insights empower sales reps and teams to adopt the habits of top performers, which leads to better outcomes, like more pipeline, higher win rates, and larger deals. We call this deep sales. And we've built the first deep sales platform with the next generation of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/trial. That's linkedin.com/trial for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/trial and get started.
Imagine the softest sheets you've ever felt. Now imagine them getting even softer over time. That's what you'll feel with Boll & Branch's best-selling signature sheets in 100% organic cotton. In a recent customer survey, 96% replied that Boll & Branch sheets get softer with every wash. Start getting your best night's sleep in sheets that get softer and softer for years to come. Try their sheets with a 30-night guarantee. Plus, get 15% off with your first order at bollandbranch.com. Code WONDERY15. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to How to Survive. I'm Kristine.
I'm Danielle.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Welcome back yourself.
Todd Glass is here.
We're very excited to have Todd here today.
He's one of our favorite people in the world.
In the world.
He makes me laugh harder than just about anybody.
Yeah. And, well, first of all, let's just say that we, in the first half, talked about what to do if the law doesn't believe you. And Todd's going to tell a story that has to do with what to do when your parents don't believe you. But before we get into your story, Todd was nice enough to have us on his show, on his podcast.
Wrote a song about us.
Wrote a song about us.
Yeah.
I mean...
Joe McKenzie, I should give him the credit.
Oh, Joe McKenzie wrote the song?
But I call him and say, hey, let's get it done.
I mean, it was impressive.
I played it for my kids. They were like, so impressed.
Did they think you were famous?
They do.
Oh my
They were
God.
like, somebody
You guys were great. You guys were great energy. Like, I get nervous sometimes if I don't think there's
people are going to be a loser.
Or not silly or judgmental or it's weird. And it could be a comedian. I love their act, but it doesn't always translate into 100%. The silliness. It's not like...
Yeah, and me, you don't find funny at all, but you still like me.
No, that's not true at all.
We're good laughers.
No, you guys, can I tell you, when you left, we all said the same thing, which I hope I am. I know I can want to talk, and I can want to talk a lot, but I also... I'm a good laugher for other people because I find them funny. But you guys were both. Aaron said when you left, he goes, God, they were like laughing at us and we were laughing at them. I'm like, well, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Aaron's your...
Aaron does like the sound sometimes on the show.
He's your Garen, I guess, but not as...
We have like a roaming like a few.
Oh, that's right. You have a rotating cast of
because I used to have
assistants.
one, but then but they're great. Anyway.
Nice.
I don't know if you remember this, Todd, but a million years ago, we were performing at Largo. Sorry. And I can't remember. I don't think I would have been hosting.
Largo over on
Yes, the original Largo. And somehow, like, I guess maybe I was hosting. I don't think I'd be hosting that show. But anyway, something happened and you came up and, like, didn't know my name and referred to me as, like, Jimmy's girlfriend or something. And I said something like, on stage, I said something like, okay, that's Todd. I've known him for 10 years, but he doesn't know my name. And then you came up and kissed me. Do you remember that?
I think because I was... I remember...
It was really funny.
But I also was like... It was to like, to go the
funny.
other direction.
It was hysterical.
But I hate when there's someone out of the situation, everybody can know it, but we've all been there.
Yes.
We're forgetting about someone you don't like, someone you like.
Yeah.
And you just get...
Yeah, and we weren't like close friends.
Yeah,
you were friends with my boyfriend. It did make sense, but it was just really
But I
fun.
feel bad. Sometimes when that happens, you're like, oh, God, if
No,
you
you
didn't
made
know
it-
that doesn't match what's in my heart for you. Now, sometimes it might, but most of the time, to me, it doesn't. It's like, even my neighbors, I hope this doesn't say anything about me, but I love all three of my close neighbors. We don't bother each other, but there's a warmth there. How I want it. It's just very close.
Yes.
There's always, but we don't bother each other. And I realize I don't know any of their names.
We don't either in our neighborhood.
Like, hi, how you doing?
Yeah, I know.
Warmo, how's your son? And I go, I don't know. My friend goes, how you don't know her name?
Oh, someone's phone is...
That's
Todd.
embarrassing.
That's your neighbor.
And she goes, I'm
How
listening.
could you not
didn't
know
see
my
it."
name? It's
Then I kiss her
Meredith.
tonight.
And then you kiss her.
Yeah, I did more like a passionate, not just like I was like not passionate kiss, but
No,
like,
it was like on the lips. It was really funny.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I was, and it did. It put me in my place.
Oh, shut up! It put you in your place.
I would love if this conversation took a turn where she was like, and it felt like an assault, Todd.
Yeah. And that's why I'm here. And then I turn around, Jimmy's standing behind me. Oh, weird. All I would do is to get rid of him, I'd try to I'd cook some food in a crock pot, and then he'd run out of the room.
Yes, that's all you have to do. And then the chivalry's gone. He's just, oh no, is that food cooking? I'm out of here. Before I forget, I want to say that not only does Todd have this fantastic podcast, it's just called the Todd Glass Show,
Yes.
right? Which is really hysterical and like unlike anything you've ever. It's very like sort of.
It's like a party.
Flowy. It's like a party.
Like a variety show.
It is.
It's like a cocktail party you wish you were
stream of
invited
consciousness.
to.
Yes. But he also does a voice on 10-Year-Old Tom, which is an hysterical cartoon that we all watched. My husband and Jimmy, and Jimmy. I don't know what's happening. See, now I'm getting nervous about names. My husband and son and I all watched together, and it's so funny, and it's very like deadpan.
Yes.
And Todd was just telling us before that like you got to improvise a lot of it, which is very cool.
Yeah, about like I was saying, 50% they let you just really play, and if they ever really need something, they'll tell you. But it's got some, it's speaking of names you don't remember. Like I know, the more like John Malkovich plays the the drama teacher, and Duchovny, David Duchovny is the ice cream.
Yes.
Is he the ice cream man? But then there's a cast of people like that I hate that I don't know their name.
Right.
I'm on the in the recording thing. They're on the phone, and the woman who plays Tom's mom is so funny. I just watched Righteous Gemstones for the first time.
Yes.
And that girl, the woman that's on there, they go, Todd, that's the same woman that plays
the sister.
Yeah, the sister.
She's great.
Oh, that's right. I forgot it was her.
Yeah.
Because I think it was a different mom the first. Oh, yeah. It was a different mom. Because this was a few years ago, this show, right?
No. This is, she could have been on the other show that he had, which I forget the name of.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. The
Life and Times.
8mm. It's not called that. It's The Kid Makes Movies. It's
8mm.
It's not 8. No, I'm joking. It's not 8mm. It's. I'm joking. It's not. It's Home Movies. Yes. Home Movies is the one she was on. Right. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know
of.
that one, but
yes. Someone said it had a feel like that.
Yeah, it's the same creators.
I think so.
And it's like Home Movies was first, and then so are they doing more 10-Year-Old Tom?
We got a season 2.
Yes! Oh, I'm so excited!
I just
Oh, that's fantastic because it's so funny.
Yeah.
All right, so Todd, you're here today because you're going to tell us your story.
Yes.
Something you survived.
So here we go. And it stays with me to this day.
Okay,
the
good.
fear of being on snow.
Okay.
Snowy, icy roads. So every night I would, when I was like, probably at this point I was like 17 or 18.
Okay.
I would do the comedy club in Philadelphia.
Wow, you started early.
I started at 16.
Oh,
my
wow.
gosh.
Holy
16.
Ghost.
You're such a baby.
I know. When I meet a 16-year-old now, I'm like, I looked a little older. 16 can be really 13 looking,
Right.
or 17.
Yeah.
18 years old. So
I can imagine that you looked a little older.
I shaved. I was embarrassed that I shaved. My dad would ask me if he wanted me to buy him a razor. I met a few other people that had the same sort of thing.
I don't think 16 is early to shave.
No, it was earlier than that, but I was embarrassed going through puberty, I guess. I don't know. Back then,
I know. It is embarrassing.
I hated it.
It's awful.
Do you need deodorant? No.
I know I never understood girls who were like, I want to get my period. I'm like, why? Ew, why do you want to get older?
Yeah.
Gross. Anyway, I know.
So I would go down there, and then on the way home, I would, drive, and nothing ever happened. So I was very confident in snow. Until you crash, you just drive.
What city is this again?
Philadelphia.
Right. Okay.
And you lived on the outskirts.
I lived in Valley Forge. Yes.
Okay.
Good memory. What if I go? Good memory, Lisa. By the way, I got embarrassed that I was calling you Chris on my show.
No, that's my name.
I know, but
then I had to tell him it's because I call her Chris, and she goes by Kristine on the show. But
professionally,
yeah.
I texted her.
I know.
I'm like, when you left, you guys were an hour gone. I'm like, did I just call her Chris all night long? But she goes, no, that's
totally fine.
Yeah.
That's
so
really
anyway,
lovely.
so I'm driving home, and I always would get, I ate a lot. Like, I would eat at the club, I would eat that, and on the way home, I would stop at Denny's.
Right.
And it was like, and then I would get a lot. So I was eating, and I was like going through the bag of French fries.
Okay.
And my car just spun around like twice.
Whoa.
And I remember
nowhere.
just being like, I didn't think of anything.
Yeah.
I didn't think of anything. It just spun around, and then then it like moved over slowly, and I'm sitting in the car to what I thought was a body of water, but it was,
God.
sometimes on the side of the road it could look like, because there's just ice. It was just ice, and it was like a field.
Yeah, you
and
can't tell.
You
Right.
can't tell. It could have been when it floods, turn into water, but
Right.
it wasn't. And my car was right there. I thought I was going to go into the water.
That's so scary.
And I thought about that a lot, about if that ever happened,
Yeah.
that I might be afraid to open the door, because then the water flooding in.
You
so
don't
somehow,
open the door. You can't open the door.
Oh, yeah, I would be afraid to bust the window open.
Oh, you got to bust the window
Because
open.
then water's got to flood in. You got to hold your breath. And I was always afraid. I'd talked about this before this happened, that I would just, I don't know if I was half kidding or not. Maybe I wasn't. That I would stay in the car and just die. because I don't know, take a deep breath.
Yes.
But I didn't have that punch in the car anyway.
We got to get him the life hammer.
We have to get you the life hammer.
My neighbor, that neighbor
Yeah.
gave me one. I have one now.
You do?
Yeah, it
Okay.
cuts the seatbelt.
Yes.
And
We did a whole episode
Did
about
a whole
this.
episode about this
Really?
exact thing.
About how to survive if your car goes underwater.
those are the hard things to keep on you in life. Like, like things that you might never need, but you can't, if you
Yes.
move, if you get a new car, if you lose
Yes.
it somehow,
Yeah.
keep it in. Mine's in the car.
Ours
Yes.
is in the car.
Ours is in the car.
We got one after we did the episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I know what you mean, because I'm not like a strong swimmer, and you're right. I think that would really, really scare me. But
Boom, imagine you go, hit it. We're just saying, hit the window and the window. No, you're in the car. You're hitting it. Take a deep breath, hit it.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, those, what are they called?
life hammer.
Life hammer. God, you guys have really set yourself on this show to survive a lot. Jimmy and Oliver should really treat you with respect, because you're the one that's probably going to end up saving their life.
We don't remember anything after we did that. We just remember this episode about the car.
To keep in case someone ever has a dog or a kid in the car. So you can go to your car, get yours.
Oh, that's a really good.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
You have it in your car, because
You could
those
hit the
windows
other
are
way.
hard to.
Yeah.
Sometimes are they, because if you do it with if you have a baseball bat, why have I think I've seen things where it's harder than you think with a baseball bat?
It is. I think
It
you're
is.
right. Because remember, we talked about how even if you're wearing like steel-toed boots,
Yes.
it's almost impossible to kick out a window if you're trapped in
Yes.
your car. They did this on a show on Mythbusters.
Mythbusters, yeah.
And so when they did a simulation of people being trapped in the car and they were trying to kick out the window, they really couldn't. So if you don't have one of those tools to break out a window, you're going to have a really hard time. You can use the backs of your seat.
The neck rest.
Your neck rest. You can pull that out because it has those
it has
metal
pointy.
pieces and do that.
boom.
But I don't know if you
Has to be pointed.
If you had a baseball bat, it's probably still harder than you think.
Yeah, that's why.
You're not going to be as cool as Beyonce in that video. When she goes down and busts Lemonade, she's busting all those windows. I don't know how accurate that is.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, you probably have more force behind you if you're outside of a car and you can swing. And inside a car, how much force?
Is that what you're talking about? Like somebody's trapped in a car. You're saying, and you're going to go help them.
You're going to go help them. Probably a baseball bat would work if you're outside of the car. But like I said,
then
that
you
thing
get
would
glass
be
all over you.
Right. Because that just what's it called? That thing.
Life hammer.
A life hammer.
Yeah.
And then when you hit that, it just crumbles.
I don't know if it's that easy.
Did you ever do it?
No.
Neither of you did.
But you know what we're going to do? We're going to start doing TikToks of stuff.
Good.
And we're gonna our first TikTok is probably gonna be us doing the life hammer on a windshield.
It is? We're gonna go drown in a...
No.
Well, no.
We're gonna just go to like the junkyard.
the junkyard and find it. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay,
just
I didn't
do
realize
it.
we were doing this, but it sounds good to me.
I'm pitching it now.
Yeah. No, you're right, and you should do it. It's a great way to cross promote.
Yeah.
Cross promote us with us.
So, I just sat in my car. The weird thing was, I do remember this specifically. I started eating my French fries. And yet I was almost teared up a little because I was really nervous.
Did you open the ketchup? Did you get the salt out, open the ketchup?
I never open my ketchup on fries. I don't know why, but I never do. And I like ketchup on my fries.
Okay.
Whenever I eat McDonald's fries or something, I just eat them.
In the car, okay.
I know it's also, when I was getting ready to tell you this story, thinking about it and going back to getting some of the details, it's weird. I remembered... and it has nothing to do with the story because I didn't get my fries at McDonald's. I got my fries at Denny's when I got my sandwich. But I thought, did McDonald's have drive-thru back then? In like 83, and I think they probably...
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
But, so what eventually...
okay, so you're eating your fries.
I'm eating my fries. Well, I don't tell anybody. I mean, I told you that.
Are you scared? You still think you're near water, so you're kind of like panicking?
I was at the point where I felt like the car wasn't going to slide. Okay. I felt all right in the car. And then I just was going to just calm down for a second. And then right after that, a cop pulled up behind me. Here's when I thought, this story's not long enough. So the cop pulls up behind me, and again, I was still scared of cops for no reason. He was super nice, you know? And I
understand that.
I was answering him very officially.
Yes.
And he even said like his version of at ease. He goes, hey, I'm just here to help you. You're all
okay.
right. Maybe you could tell I didn't drink then or anything, so I was fine. I didn't have to worry about that. Not that I would have to worry. Well, I did drink and drive when I was younger.
I think we all did. It's horrible. It's so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Then I didn't drink at that age, but when I was old enough to drink, I did drink and drive, and then I, of course,
killed someone.
That's all it would take. Of course, they stopped because I killed somebody. But anyway, my mom, I go on with the story.
It was a real eye opener.
It was a real and that was a real eye opener. But anyway, of course it was. You don't have to point that out.
That's not the story here.
Yeah, that's the part I leave out. But oh boy, I still feel bad about that sometimes. But anyway, listen to this. So, I was a little nervous because I did think my car was going to slip into that body of water.
That didn't exist.
He didn't say that wasn't a body of water. He was super nice. He got in my car and he drove it out. He drove it onto the road. I know, he was so nice.
Oh, so you weren't on the road.
By the way, I'm not. This is not a dissertation. What I have to say this because I did a lot of cop ride-alongs back in the day, and people think I might be unaware of the plight of I hate when you'll see a cop do something good and they do it on TikTok and then they go, this is the no. You know what? There are some cops who do good things. That doesn't okay the other stuff they do. It's like people act like this is what they typically do. No, this is a cop doing a good thing, and that happens. But overwhelmingly.
We're here for nuance.
Yeah. So
you were on the road, and when you spun out,
I went completely around
twice, and then you landed in grass.
No, I landed on. Yeah, I guess you
off
forget some of the details. Off the road,
gotcha,
the car went to the side.
So he
I'm
got
coming
in.
down the thing. Yeah. You know what it was? It was
like a meadow.
Yeah, like I said, when it floods, it could. It could
be lakeish.
It could be. You know what I'm thinking now? It's funny how when you retell the story in the detail, that's why maybe people that are up for like in court, they might genuinely forget. Because I realized my car spun out and went, because I was going down the highway on the right. Was it going on the right? Oh, no, it was on the right. Because, I would be on the right. Yeah, so mine went to the right. Yeah,
okay.
No big deal. I'm sorry. So anyway, I drove home, and it was late. But my parents were up, and my brother was up. And I started telling them the story. And this is the part that gets a little great. But I know they did not believe me.
Why?
They were like, ah. And then when I finally thought I got them to believe me, I don't know, maybe because I joked around more.
So it's not even that they thought you were just being funny.
They thought I was lying, right? They thought I was like doing it to be funny.
Like a bit.
As a bit, exactly. Even though they wouldn't have called it that, but like doing a bit.
Your parents don't know the nomenclature.
Yeah.
Is this a callback, Todd?
No. Well, what's funny is that, again, I keep saying it because as I sit here and all the details unfold, I'm like, why would my parents think? Because I remember it went on for a little while. Like, I'm not going to say 20 minutes, but it went on for 6 minutes. And then when I thought they believed me, and then we sort of moved on to other things, my mom said something. I go, why would I remember going, why would I make that up? She goes, do you remember what you did after we saw Clockwork Orange? I'm like, Mom, that was when I was in 2nd grade. We lived on Stonehurst, and I felt horrible about that even then.
What, did you put toothpicks in your eye? That's all I can think
of. We lived on a road. It was a neighborhood, but we lived on sort of a, it wasn't a highway, but cars would get stalled, and sometimes they would knock on the door and go, hey, I'm sorry, okay. And one night that happened. I specifically remember, my parents got home from Clockwork Orange, or they had seen it a week ago, and my mom, she goes, I feel so bad. We just saw Clockwork Orange and we're spooked. My husband's throwing the phone on the back patio. You can use it. That way we shut the door.
Gotcha.
My mom went upstairs, and I remember she was filing her nails in her bedroom. I said, 2nd grade, tops 3rd grade. I'm positive. I know the house we lived in. Okay. I go, Mom, the guy pulled a knife out. The woman pulled a knife out. And then let me tell you something. My mom and dad, we didn't get hit. The most, if we were close to my dad and he was upset, he would like hold our arm quick harder than and just go over here. But he never. Okay. My mom just started just like hitting me like on my like on my. She goes, "What is wrong with you?" What? And I just remember thinking like, "Oh God, I can't. What was wrong with me?" So I go, I guess I do remember that.
So she knew right away you were joking about that?
No, not the Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, she thought you were serious.
She thought it was serious. So, I only did it for 3 seconds, and I told her.
And then when you told her, she started hitting you. Okay, so fast forward to now you're 17.
And she brings that up.
And now she goes, well, why would I believe you when you were 9? You...
Yeah, well,
lied to us about
she had other stories too. Like she goes, "Don't you remember this or that?" And I'm like, "All right," but I go, "This one," I was like, "That's why, believe it or not, on the podcast, I say truth. I used to say to George Carlin, truth. It just means in the midst of all the craziness that's on a podcast, I use it in my act now, and I find it very helpful. In the midst of all the craziness, sometimes to have a story go over, they need to know you're being honest.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have it, it can be real frustrating in a room, which leads me back to that. And in my podcast, I'll just go truth. And if you never break it, everyone trusts you. The minute you say truth, they'll be like, oh, okay, this part's true.
Right.
So I should have had that back then. But that was it. They finally believed me.
They did. They believed you that night.
Yeah, they believed me that night.
And then were they concerned, or were they just
like... Oh, yeah. Then they felt really bad, because they could see I was like, that really, I mean, that car was spinning around. I just was like... Wow, and it was because I was just driving, you don't... Now when I see cars drive fast, I to this day in the snow, I go so slow. Yeah. When I see cars just flying down in the snow, I go so slow. Yeah. So slow, because that was just like having no control and just spinning around and not knowing what to do. I didn't pump the brakes because I don't even think that was applicable. You wouldn't have time, probably. Yeah, I don't even think... Yeah, because that's when you're... aiming towards.
Right, and now you don't do that because of the anti-lock brakes. You don't pump the brakes.
Oh, you don't pump the brakes?
Not anymore.
They'll do it
but
themselves.
Back then, maybe they were before anti-lock brakes,
So that was...
Oh, my God. That's so scary. I've never had to drive... I'm from L.A. and I've never driven in snow or ice.
Oh, never?
I've never driven... Like, whenever we go somewhere, Jimmy drives, so I've never had to drive in, like... bad conditions. I mean, rain here in LA,
which can be a little bit like driving
because
in snow.
People are crazy, and
I haven't been in a lot of accidents, hardly maybe 3 my entire life. Where I hit somebody and it was my fault. Probably 3 or 4 times. Probably I think twice were my fault, twice weren't. So for that's not bad. But. So I say that so you'll understand I'm not that much of a menace out on the road. That's actually a pretty good driving record. But if I didn't have to drive, I think if I ever kill anyone, it's going to be in my car. Because, like, driving somewhere and you go to make a right and there's a skateboarder coming down, like, or something, on a bike.
Motorcycles.
And or veering in. You know how many? But I have had a lot of times where I go to veer and I'm like, holy shit.
It's so scary.
And I go, if I didn't have to drive, then I know for a fact that I would never accidentally kill anybody.
But
There'd be no other way.
it's still on the table.
It's still on the table.
Because you drive.
Because I drive.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a guy who, in my neighborhood and around my neighborhood, who goes out in the middle of the street now, and while there's a red light, does juggling. Like, he stands in front of all the cars in the middle of the street and juggles while there's a red light.
I saw that on TikTok.
Yeah, it's like his new thing. And it's
He's never been hit by a car.
I don't know.
Well, never. He'd stop it.
I don't know how he times it, that he gets out of the way. And obviously, you'd be coming from a stop, so you probably wouldn't actually hurt him. But I get scared every time. I'm like, you're a menace. Get out of the fucking way. Like, I don't want to hurt you. I get, ugh.
Plus the juggling.
Yes, that's the menace.
People might just hit him because he's juggling.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
I can't stand jugglers.
2022, you're still juggling? Come on, dude. Get a career.
Yeah.
This is
now,
not happening.
1980, you could work as
juggling
a
is
middle at a comedy club.
perfectly
Sure, you could
acceptable.
headline.
You could open for Gallagher.
Have you had to do, gigs where you're
Luckily, by the
following
time
a
I
juggler
started,
or magic?
I guess, you know what? Yeah, back when I moved, not on the road ever. But when I moved to LA, there were a few comedic jugglers, and some of them were, sort of funny. They all did the same sort of shtick a little. I guess a lot of comedians do the same shtick, but there's more of them, so it gets hidden, and there's more creative ones. But they all did the shtick. The Republican juggler, and then they would just go, gimme, 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 and grab them or whatever. It's all very like, and then they would drop one and spank it. That was like a bad pin,
Oh,
Oh, man.
yeah. I don't know if this guy is saying anything because it's too loud in traffic, but yeah, he's
Right there.
Does he have like a bucket for money?
Yes. So he's not just doing it to be annoying. He's doing it to be annoying and to collect money. I think he has like a funny hat or something, and then
you didn't tell us that up front. That could be fun at a red light.
yeah. He's got like a funny hat, and then he somehow times it that before the red light he does his bit, and then he obviously
he's watching the other.
He's
light.
watching the light, right,
knows.
and he goes out and he gets money, and I mean, I guess it's
Passes
more
the time.
Yeah, and it's more creative than just standing there asking for money. So
Wonder if he purposely picked a long light.
It has to be. It's Los Angeles, so it has to be. But I've heard he shows up other places, so I think he's got the lights down. What?
He tours
the area. Honestly, I've seen him at different corners. He must time it so that the traffic is, a certain way.
Next, we find out he makes more money than me or us or
for
all
sure.
of us.
Oh, he definitely does. He's doing really well.
Yeah.
I'll make this real quick. I'm always thinking of like things that I would have fun doing, but could make a good TikTok. And the other day, someone's helped me on my block not getting a ticket from the meter maid. It's always so appreciative. They knock on your door. Hey, the meter maid's
that's
coming.
really nice.
I know. I'm like, oh, thank you. So the other day I was leaving and there was a car and I just honked my horn like 3 times in front of their house. They didn't come out, but I thought, I'm not knocking on their door. I was a little lazy. So I thought, what if you had a PA? You could hook up a PA to any car. Yes. And you drove around. You'd have to just put on the side of your car a banner or a sticker that says tips only to make it like a thing. And you had a PA and you just went, there's a brown car outside. And it's not about how many people wouldn't come out because they don't hear you. It's just the amount that would come out. And they go, oh, thank you. And you shoot it.
And they tip you.
And they tip you. And then you take that money. Maybe you give it to a charity. Or you make the whole thing like a feel-good thing. That could probably be a good TikTok, right?
I love that idea. Yes.
Right? And people would love you because you just saved them $75 and they'll go throw $5 in a thing.
You're spreading joy.
Yes, but you could also do it at businesses where there's meters.
But then they would be in a building, so would they?
No, but I mean, like if they're in a restaurant or something on the ground floor or something like that.
Yeah,
that's really good.
My friend said I should do it like Paul Revere, like you're out there helping mankind or something. Anyway,
I want to see you in a soldier's outfit.
Yeah.
Hey, before I knew it was illegal, I thought about doing it at the airport.
Wait, what's illegal?
To put on a soldier's outfit.
So, I meant
even
like
from oldie timey.
Yeah, I meant like the Revolutionary War. I didn't mean.
And you're on a horse now.
Yeah, right. Right, exactly.
We've got this figured out.
Wait, why were you going to put on a soldier's outfit? So that you could
sit in first class. When I was younger, I think, what if you just put on a military outfit?
Yeah, I'm wondering now why your mom doesn't believe you.
Yeah.
I was thinking of having stolen valor and putting on a. military outfit so I could get on the plane early. What's the problem? Why don't you believe me?
I can get a Purple Heart from Amazon. You can just get those on Amazon.
Yeah,
now.
probably.
Yeah, the more we talk, the more they go, yeah, I get it, why they didn't believe it.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Well, Todd, we can't thank you enough for coming on the show. We had so much fun.
A great story.
Thank you.
Very funny, as always.
God.
And now I hope it doesn't happen again.
Todd, thank you so much for coming. We hope you'll be back on.
Yes, please come back.
You're already one of our favorites.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Thank you. You guys are just a joy to hang out with. Seriously, when you left, you'll know I mean this, but you appreciate it and took it in.
Yes.
We were like, oh, now we want to have them back and pull out like the bells and the whistles. And it was harder because of the pandemic to get musicians. But now I feel like we've moved past that. We test everybody.
Oh, you're going to have musicians and you need to have a wine cork this time.
Yes.
I mean, a wine opener.
I bought that yesterday at Vaughn's.
Did you really?
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
It's all in place now because that it was so much fun. We really felt like we were going to a party.
Yeah,
well, good. You guys
awesome.
were awesome, and I'll invite you back, and it'll be fun to do
the whole deal. All right, so check Todd out on his own podcast, The Todd Glass Show, and also, of course, 10-Year-Old Tom.
10-Year-Old Tom.
Which is coming back. I'm so excited.
Second season. Watch the first season. He's so funny and such a good actor.
So funny.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try.
And we'll be right back with, what did we learn this week? All right, so Chris, let's talk about what we learned today.
I'm ready.
First of all, your hospital punch card is almost full.
I agree.
One more and you get a free lapectomy.
Oh,
I don't know.
Do I want that?
I don't think so.
What is it?
I don't know. Is that where you get your something tied? Your stomach shrunk?
Karen,
I don't know.
Do you know what that is?
It just came out. Of my head.
I don't want it.
Be like No Doubt and don't speak except to ask for an attorney if you're arrested.
No Doubt speaks the truth.
Right. If you're offered a free beverage, no matter what the circumstances, take it.
Not at a bar.
But not at a bar. Protect the environment by a How to Survive travel mug.
Yes.
Love it. A Burger King receipt is not a valid search warrant, even if signed by a judge. Or a king.
What if it's Judge Reinhold?
Yes. No, you're not even then. Listen to your attorney. Don't be afraid to leave it to the professionals. Do not post about your case on social media. In fact, don't even use it while your case is going on.
That's going to be hard to not use it at all. Like, I want to take some really cute jail selfies.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure people do. Cold room, hunger, or a hard chair equals false confession.
For us.
For us. Remember, we are paper. Since its inception, the Innocence Project has used DNA and other scientific advancements to prove wrongful conviction. When in doubt, over-introduce.
Yeah, I agree.
Edie Patterson is Tom's mom and 10-year-old Tom, and also the hilarious woman on the Gemstones.
She's so funny.
She's so funny. The first McDonald's drive-thru was created in 1975 in Sierra Vista, Arizona, near Fort Huachuca, a military installation to serve military members who were not permitted to get out of their cars off post while wearing fatigues. That's fascinating.
It is.
Wow, I love that.
Do you love McDonald's fries?
I do.
I love them. That's the first thing I had after surgery.
Oh, that makes sense.
When I could eat something, real food, and then I barfed them right up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm still going to eat McDonald's fries.
Yeah. I used to not be able to eat them, but then they made them vegetarian.
They're so good.
Juggling is unacceptable in 2022.
I agree. I think that's what should be canceled.
Yes, cancel juggling. Yeah. Cancel juggling.
Can we use cancel culture for some good?
Yes. All right. So speaking of doing some good, I believe you have a well, actually for us.
I do. So a listener, she has a Instagram handle called Black Lamb Handmade. All works by Rachel. I'm going to butcher this last name. Rokue.
Okay.
Rokue.
That's pretty.
Thank you, Rochelle. I bet it's Rochelle. You know what? Let me know. I'm sorry.
I think it's Rochelle.
We're going to have to do a well actually on the well actually.
I'm sorry.
Again.
I'm sorry. I love you, Rochelle, and everyone should go to Black Lamb Handmade and check out her wares. She sent me this. I hate that this is what I've decided to well actually on. The power of David Attenborough compels me. Some birds do have penises. They don't walk around with it out dangling, but when it's time to use it, they do. Ducks have the weirdest penises because they are corkscrew shaped, and the vagina of the female duck is also corkscrew shaped.
Whoa.
With dead ends and extra tunnels because ducks are rapists. And that's their evolved defense against being impregnated by a shitty duck.
Wait a second. I have so many thoughts. Dead ends. So it's like a maze. It's like a labyrinth to get to. Okay.
Click this link at your own risk because looking at a duck dick is probably the most traumatizing thing I've ever done. But at the same time, wow, nature is amazing. All right.
Okay, so
are
we'll
you
put
ready?
that on our... Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to pass you my phone now.
Okay.
And
I'm getting prepared.
There's a curly arrow, and you're just going to push that curly arrow.
A curly arrow.
And then get ready for the curly penis.
Okay. So I'm... It doesn't want to play. No, it just doesn't. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, so someone's holding a ruler out. Mm-hmm. The penis is coming out. Oh my God, it's getting longer and longer and longer. It's like Play-Doh Fun Factory. It did ejaculate. Now, why did it ejaculate if it wasn't in anything?
That I can't answer.
Not that...
That's what you...
Wow, that was disturbing.
Yeah.
But I have to... Well, actually, because I don't think we said that all birds don't have penises.
No,
I think we said some birds don't have penises.
Yeah, I don't think... I might have said it...
No, I'm pretty sure you said some. But that said, Rochelle, I can't thank you enough because that was very informative. And creepy.
And she did say, also, this is, of course, a time where I paused the podcast to react immediately. So many apologies if you clear this up before the episode even ends.
That's okay.
I said, I can't wait to share this because it is amazing.
It's fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rochelle.
Loved seeing that corkscrew penis.
And then you have some more you have another note for us?
I do. We just got a really fun review from a listener that I wanted to share because... We love to give love to Garen.
Oh, okay.
And here, hold on. Why is it saying it can't be displayed? Don't you dare do this.
You can't be seen in any form, Garen. You're just overlooked.
Here we go.
Okay.
5 stars. Headline, Most Deaf, You'll Survive. Such fun and interesting wordplay on topics. Guests are always great. Need more Garen, maybe... ... Not sure.
Oh my God. Wait, so they're ambivalent about whether we need more Garen or not, but felt the need to write it.
Yeah.
So they want us to think about it too. I think that's a fair
I think they
proposition.
Probably also love Garen and are being funny in the review.
I'll take it.
That's possible, yeah. And who was that? Does it say who that is?
This was from Ben K. 262626.
Thank you, Ben K.
262626.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should maybe ... have more Garen. Actually, if you were just on mic when we talked to you, that would be helpful.
Would help.
Yeah, that would make you more on the show.
I'll talk to somebody about that. I don't know who's responsible.
Our mic wrangler. Well, this has been such a fun episode. I'm so glad
thoroughly enjoyed
we got Todd on.
I know.
And
always flunny?
He's so flunny. He's full of life. Is that what you're going to say? He's full of flunny.
I don't know what was going to happen there, but I think I was going to say funny and delightful, and it just kind of mashed up.
He is both those things. So that is, I agree with you on that. Well, I hope your knee starts feeling better.
Thanks. It already is.
Good. And until next time, remain calm.